So, so if y'all wondering, if you're wondering how come the set looks a lot different, is because I'm doing something right now that I haven't had to do in a long, long time, which is do a show with my phone. Um, yeah, I have to do the show with my phone because my crib is under construction and something is going on with my computer. One of the contractors must have knocked something out of whack, and I really don't have a lot of time to find out what went wrong. So I had to go back to the old school and set up my phone. Now, this might work out. This might work out pretty well in the long run because most content creators use their phone. You know, not it seems like not a lot of them use an actual camera. I like using an actual camera. I don't really like using the phone for a variety of reasons, but that's what we're working with. So that's how we're gonna have to do it. That's what we're working with, and that's how we're gonna have to do it. So this is the Daily Go Getimism show, Pretty Petty Tuesday, all up in your area. I'm your host, Sun752, and today we're going to talk about something that I don't normally talk about, and we're not going to be doing this live. We're not going to do this as long as we normally would a normal live because I really just can't take it. Um, y'all can't see what I can see, but I'm surrounded by filth, dust, and it's construction going on in here. It's construction going on in here. It was very necessary, but I have to. I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do. But we're gonna bring the funk for a minute. There were a couple of things that were on my mind, and I guess instead of doing the show with a real topic in mind, I figured that for once in my life I would go for the pop culture thing. So that's kind of like what could happen when you catch me on the fly. I don't know. This don't feel right. But I need to stop bitching. I got to be a man about it, right? I got to buck up. I got to be a man about it. All right, so I'm going to be a man about it. It's all good. All right, so today I want to talk about this whole Coach Prime thing. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. I want to talk about that for a hot second. Because I have some feelings on the whole situation with Deion Sanders. As many of you well know, Deion Sanders is a college football coach now for the Colorado Buffaloes, I believe it is. The Colorado Buffaloes, but he is the former coach, the former head coach for the Jackson State. I'm not even sure what their nickname was. Wait a minute. Let me see. What is the name of the Jackson State football team?
Jackson State University has more than 60 athletes on its roster.
The Tigers.
Here are the first three: Hayden Hagler, Ahmad Miller, and Seven McGee.
The Tigers. The Jackson State Tigers. All right. The Jackson State Tigers. Now, y'all know that along with the fame that he already had, Deion Sanders gained a lot of notoriety and a lot of praise for becoming the head coach of a HBCU a few years ago, and he rose that team to prominence, and they were doing really well. And because of the star power that Deion Sanders has, he was able to bring a lot of attention to that team, and he brought a lot of attention to the HBCUs. But Deion Sanders is Deion Sanders, and I don't know how a lot of people feel about Deion Sanders, but Deion Sanders has always been very flashy. He's always been very outspoken. He's always been what I would call, a look at me kind of guy. He's always been a look at me kind of guy. and that hasn't changed much. I think he has dumbed it down a little bit, but you can tell that he remembers the good times. This guy still dyes his hair. That's the kind of man he is. At 50, let's see, how old is Deion Sanders? He's the 60s, baby. How old is Deion Sanders?
56 years old.
Okay, so at 56 years old, Deion Sanders promotes and admits, and submits to dyeing his hair. So anybody at 56 years old who refuses to have any gray hair, it kind of tells you a lot about what's going on in their psyche, and where their ego is, and how their self-esteem is set up. Now, somebody like Deion Sanders has many reasons to have high self-esteem, but any of us know, and all of us know, that just because you should feel good about yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to feel good about yourself, and he is no exception. So I'm only bringing up the dyeing his hair thing because it gives you a snapshot about somebody's mental and emotional state and how they feel about themselves, regardless of the fame and the money and the accolades and the Hall of Fame status and all of that kind of stuff. A lot of accomplishments may speak for a person, but the person inside of you speaks loudest. So the reason that I wanted to talk about this whole Coach Prime thing is because he left Jackson State last year because he had an opportunity to go to a Division One single A school, a big school like Colorado, and Colorado was doing really bad. The whole time that Deion Sanders was coaching at Jackson State, he brought celebrities there. He brought the media there, and black colleges were definitely the focus because he was winning championships. He was taking his team very far in the playoffs, but those teams were from smaller schools. And somebody like Deion Sanders has always played on the big stage. I remember when he was playing in the NFL, and regardless of how good he was, because he was a very good player, a very good player. He played on defense, and he was a defensive back, and he was the type that would get a lot of interceptions, and he also did kick returns and punt returns, and so he was able to get touchdowns from that. He was very elusive. He was very fast. He was a very good player, and he played baseball too. So for a time, he was playing baseball, professional football, and professional baseball at the same time, sort of like Bo Jackson, but not on that level because Bo Jackson was woo. He was really good at both of those sports. Really, he was almost elite at both. Deion Sanders was very good, was extremely good at football, but he was good at baseball. But think about it: to be able to make it into the national leagues, not the farm leagues, not triple A, double or triple A, but to make it to the major leagues, he had to be really good. So I'm not going to take anything away from him. He just wasn't Hall of Fame status in baseball like he was with football. But as good as he was back then, he was. I remember one time hearing about him talk about playing on Monday Night Football, and he used to say some funny things. He had some good sound bites. He said, "Man, I love Monday. I love playing on Monday night. I love Monday night so much. I think I was born on a Monday night." It was so funny at the time to hear him say that. He was born on a Monday night, so that's why he was going to perform on well on a Monday night stage. He also said one time that if certain teams wanted him to come play for them, he's going to charge them so much they were going to have to put him on layaway. He tried his hand at singing or rapping, whatever you want to call it. He had a song. He had a song and a video out called "Must Be the Money." There was an old school song that came out in the '80s called "It Must Be the Music," and it went, "Must be the music is turning me on. Must be the music. Must be the music." So he sampled that and made a song called "Must Be the Money." And because Deion Sanders was he was always about that cash, and he was always about his personal performance. And I'm not saying that he totally was not a team player. I'm not saying that. But many people who are very self-centered but extremely tired, excuse me, but extremely talented have the power to appear like they are team players because they still have friends on teams or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily make you a team player. So I just wanted to get that straight. So he left Jackson State to go to Colorado. And a lot of people felt some kind of way about it. Initially, I think a lot of people felt like, "Dag, man, we had a chance to really build this thing at an HBCU, and to really build up that division, and put the spotlight on black players in a black league for black schools. Sort of like the Negro leagues in baseball years ago. A lot of people don't know that the Negro leagues was way better than Major League Baseball. And that's the Negro leagues is where you got certain things like the different kinds of pitches, like curve balls and stuff like that. They weren't doing that in the major leagues. The black guys, they were doing that in the Negro leagues. Things like stealing bases. Black guys were muscular and athletic and fast. So they were able to steal bases like it wasn't nothing. They were able to hit home runs like it wasn't nothing. And they could they could hit and they could field. So they had good offense, they had good defense, they had it all. So people like Josh Johnson and Satchel Paige, even Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson wasn't, even though he was the first black person to come to be allowed to play in the major leagues, he was by no means the superstar of the Negro leagues. He was good. He was good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he wasn't one of them ones. He wasn't one of them ones. By the time Satchel Paige made it to Major League Baseball, I think he was probably in his 40s. Let me see. But many people agree that Satchel Paige may have been the best baseball player ever. Ever. He was a pitcher. How old was Satchel Paige when he came to Major League Baseball?
42. According to Baseball Hall of Fame, at the age of 42, Page made his American League debut when Bill Beek signed him to a contract with the Indians on July 7, 1948.
Can you imagine that? 1948, he was 42 years old. 42 years old by the time he made it into the major leagues. So, of course, to say that somebody was past their prime is an understatement. But you have to imagine how good he must have been when he was in his prime. Can you even imagine that? Can you imagine how good he was? So the Negro leagues had superstars in it that never was showcased in the major leagues and on a big stage because of because America didn't want the world to see black athletes being superior and beating white athletes. So the times when the Negro leagues would play against the major leagues, they would beat them every time. They would beat them every time. They would slaughter them. So they got rid of the Negro leagues. Many of the Negro leagues teams sold out. Just like a lot of black things, they sold out. They had the best product, but they wanted to be in the mainstream. They wanted the accolades, and they wanted the fame, the notoriety of the white players. And I hope y'all see where I'm going with this. They wanted, you know how it is with black people. Nothing black people get is good enough until the white man says that it's good enough. It's thin as hell. We have something great. Instead of keeping it among ourselves, including the money, because that was one of the great things about the Negro Leagues. It was black business. Many of the teams were run and owned and operated by black people. So as they were traveling from city to city, state to state, even different countries, they would go and play in Puerto Rico. They would go to the Dominican Republic. They would go down to Mexico. They would go in Central and South America. They traveled. So, but that was black money being circulated through the black community. A lot of people didn't look at it that way, but there was a lot of money to be made, and they had the best players. So fast forward, getting back to Deion Sanders, when he left Jackson State to go to Colorado, some people felt bad about it. Like, dag, man, we had a chance to really do this thing, and you were doing it. You were bringing so much. You were bringing so much attention, fame, notoriety, publicity to HBCUs that you had top prospects, top high school prospects around the country wanting to go to an HBCU and possibly go to Jackson State and be coached under Deion Sanders. Well, Deion Sanders went where the money was. Then he had a lot of negative things to say about Jackson State upon his departure. First they kept it clean, like, oh no, no problems, no nothing. I just wanted to seize this opportunity, but I'm still encouraging the students to stay here. I'm not trying to take them with them. I'm with me. I'm just going to go do my thing because I have a family to feed, and I'm just taking advantage of opportunities. That's how it started out. After a while, it was a mudslinging fest, and whether you side with Deion or whether you side with Jackson State, the result remains the same. And the result is that he was no longer the head coach of the football program at Jackson State. Okay. Controversy. Okay, so fast forward to, I don't know, September 26, 2023. Deion Sanders is once again in the spotlight for having two solid wins against Division I single A teams, and it was looking like he was ready to do the damn thing. He was ready to do the damn thing, and it was looking like he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, he's a good coach. I believe that he coached at a high school before he coached at Jackson State, and so my issue with Deion Sanders is that now he's intimating without straight up saying that the reason that a lot of people want him to lose is because he's a black coach and he's at an all-white school and he's competing against other white coaches, and if he does well, it'll just show how black people can compete with white people, and people are making it into a race thing. I got a problem with this. Hold on a second. I got a problem with this. The reason I have a problem with this, like I said, we was only going to be here for a minute, and we are. I'm trying to keep this under a half an hour. The reason I have a problem with this whole situation is because I have a problem with any black iconic figures who use their race when it's convenient for them. So, I know that Deion Sanders has always been about himself. He's always, been a me kind of guy. He's always been I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna go where the money is. And I'm gonna flash my cash. I'm gonna show y'all, the power of God. There was a time, he's religious, a Christian dude, and I remember there was a time he was always giving praise to the Lord. But Okay. You get praise to the Lord. That's all good. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing. Don't give praise to the Lord, but set a negative example for the youth. That's my thing. You know, you can love the Lord all you want, and the Lord can love you all He wants. But here in this world, on this earth, if you're setting a negative example for the youth, then I have a problem with that. Now, a lot of people are going to say, "Well, how was Deion Sanders or Coach Prime ever setting a bad example for the youth?" Well, when you come out with songs like when you come out with songs showing excess, but you're not showing process, I got a problem with that. When you show excess without process, I got a problem with that. Same way, the same reason, and the same way I have a problem with like Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather. Like Floyd Money Mayweather is the best boxer in his class to ever live, probably. He's undefeated. He's still undefeated. He will never be defeated. And, you know, and he was at the top of his game his whole career. Nobody could beat him. He proved himself time and time and time again, fought all of the best competition, didn't run from anybody. He was the best. And contrary to what happens to a lot of other athletes of his ilk, he didn't waste his money. He didn't make bad business decisions. As a matter of fact, he made the best big business decisions by you know, he had the contracts going, and he became a billionaire. Floyd Money Mayweather. He ain't lying when he says he's Floyd Money Mayweather. He made $1 billion for a boxer who is said to not be able to read, even though he can. But you know, that's a hell of an accomplishment, because they normally are led astray financially and wind up messing up all of their money. What's going on, Carol Chamber? Let me friend me favorita. Care Bear, thanks for being there. Stacy White, hope you're feeling all right. My brother Ansel Jones, what's going on? And Mia Cunningham, glad to see y'all, man. You know, I can see y'all comments. It's kind of small, but it's here. It's here. It's here. Yeah, it's here. All right. So, yeah. So I'm not saying that Deion Sanders ever ran around toting a gun and talking gangster shit and acting like a thug and telling people to do anything negative. But that doesn't, just because you don't tell the youth to do anything negative doesn't mean that you are setting a good example. And it doesn't mean that you're not setting a bad example. So I think that when you flash a lot of cash, rock a lot of jewels, and talk about how much you got and how much you're going to get and all this kind of stuff, I think it's irresponsible when it's done to and with black young people. Because if you're not showing them how to make money, if you're not showing them how to be a Floyd Money Mayweather or must be the money Deion Sanders, then what are you doing? Because most of them have the examples of either having to play sports in order to make it out here financially, or be an entertainer of some sort. Either play sports or be an entertainer of some sort. Am I lying? If you ask most kids out there, the majority of black kids, who makes the most money in their race that they know of, they're going to point to entertainment. It's either going to be Michael Jordan, or maybe Tyler Perry, or maybe Bob Johnson, or maybe Oprah Winfrey. It's going to be somebody in entertainment. And that pretty much lets you know the seriousness of our condition. Now, I'm saying all of this to say that now they got Deion Sanders looking like he's the poster boy for racism, and it's like a us against them mentality. And I'm not feeling that. Not for him. Not for him. Because I don't remember Deion Sanders ever being a race warrior for us. I don't ever remember Deion Sanders, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I will stand corrected if somebody can point me towards when he has taken an interest in the advancement of black people in some way, whether it was the community, whether it was financially, whether it was education, whether it was helping out young people to be able to deal with growing up in broken homes, or deal with gang violence and peer pressure or something like that. If you can show me where he has involved himself in those kinds of things, I will stand corrected and I will take a different stance. However, even if he has done that, setting the example of leaving a black school that was on a small scale to go to a white school that, even though they had losing records for the last 3, 4, 5 years, they were on a higher scale, it doesn't gel well with me. And I can easily look at it like, yeah, well, there's an opportunity for him to bring black players there, because it is football. They're going to need them. Bring black players there and give them a chance to make it in the NFL, or be able to play on the world stage and all blah 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 blah. And of course, Dion's star power is going to get him there. It's going to get him there easily. But all of this, everybody wants him to lose because he's black. I'm not feeling that. I can't get into that. You know how many black coaches there are in college football? There are a lot, and not just in the HBCUs. There are Penn State. Their head coach is black, and currently Penn State sits at number 7 in the AP poll, in the AP rankings, number 7. And they haven't played Michigan or Ohio State yet. So they have a chance to be in the national championship. But one thing about the black Penn State coach, first of all, he's very vanilla. Light skinned. He probably has mixed parents or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's definitely vanilla. You know what I mean? But he is a black man. Barack Obama wasn't your quintessential, real nigga black man. But he was what we needed and what the country needed at the time. So at the time, he was black enough for all of us. With his white mother and his half white status, he was black enough for all of us. Yes or no? Yes, he was. Yeah, a lot of y'all gonna front now. Oh yeah, he didn't do nothing for us. We always trying to diss somebody after the fact and whatever. We get what we want and then we turn. Same way. As Deion Sanders was coaching for Jackson State, then it was like, well, but what I really want to do is this. So I'll do this and act like I'm happy with this. Make all of these videos. Have all of my celebrity friends come up. Gain all of this media coverage for this small school. By the way, that small school, their alumni was a running back who has run for more yards than any other running back in the history of pro football. That would be Walter Payton. There were many top athletes who went to Jackson State in football. So although it's a small school in Mississippi, they do the damn thing. They does the damn thing at that school. So they probably had some good coaches somewhere along the line. So he's not the first black coach to be in and on the stage for the big leagues in college, and he wasn't the first one at Jackson State to make diamonds out of the mud. He ain't the first one. He's the most popular one though. But when we start talking about, oh, they just hating on Coach Prime because he's black and he's brash and he's flashy and he's confident and he has this ability and everybody just wants to see him fail. When has anybody wanted to see Deion Sanders fail? And when did Deion Sanders become ours? I mean ours. Like, when did he become ours? When did he become a Muhammad Ali? When did he start becoming a symbol of black consciousness? See, I ain't having this shit. This is what we try. This is what people are trying to do now. They're trying to make Deion Sanders into this guy. This is his guy. It's this guy, and I'm like, yeah. So he's being PC about it. He ain't straight up saying, they want me to fail because I'm a black man, black coach, and blah 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 blah. He ain't saying it. He's just saying, yeah, you know why. You know why. You know why. If you think it's racism, say it's racism. You're a rich black man. But I understand you got contracts to fulfill. And there's certain things in those contracts that won't allow you to straight say that it's racism. So you got to say, well, yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. But I'm like, I know what the whole thing is. This is where you wanted to play, though. This is where you wanted to compete. But it's not a situation where if he wins, we all win. Because he ain't the first one to get there. He ain't the only one that's there. Let me see. Let's do a little exercise here. How many black coaches coach NCAA single A football?
Here is some information for how many black head coaches in NCAA football. According to usnews.com, barring any additional changes, there will be 14 black coaches at 133 FBS teams next season, roughly 10.5% of overall coaches, and a drop from 15 at the start of this season, even as the FBS division adds 2 new schools in 2023.
Okay. So he's one of 14. Okay, he's one of 14. But he's absolutely the most popular one out of the 14. But he's not the most accomplished one. But he's definitely the one where the cameras are going to go. And, I see all these celebrities talking about, yeah, I'm buying all of this Colorado gear. And, I'm rocking with Coach Prime. I'm not going to let him do this by himself and all of this. And I'm looking at this shit like, y'all niggas is wild. When you buy that that Colorado Buffalo stuff, that ain't money going in his pocket. That goes to the school. And that school ain't black as nothing. They ain't got no black people at that school. Probably all of the black people at Colorado probably are on the football team. And the other portion of them are probably their girlfriends and Okay. How many black people go to Colorado University?
Here's information from College Factual.
No. This can't be right. Okay. This is not the right school. Colorado, because how many black people go to the University of Colorado?
Here's information from College Factual.
No. Which college does Deion Sanders coach?
According to ESPN, Colorado coach Deion Sanders ducked into a small white tent on the backside of Autzen Stadium on Saturday to address his first true low with the Buffaloes, a 42-6 loss to Oregon in a matchup of top 20 teams. We played like hot garbage, Sanders said. Good old-fashioned butt kicking. No excuses.
So what's the name of the school? Colorado? It's just Colorado. It's not Colorado University. What is it? What is it? All right. How many black students go to Colorado?
According to Data USA, enrollment by race and ethnicity, the enrolled student population at University of Colorado Boulder is 65.4% white, 12.5% Hispanic or Latino, 6.07% Asian, 5.78% two or more races, 1.72% Black or African American, 0.205% American Indian or Alaska Native, and 0.0923% Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islanders.
Okay. So 1.72% of the student body. 1.72%. Not even a full 2% of their student body is black. In other words, there ain't no niggas that go to that school. They ain't got no niggas. This is a niggaless school. All right, it be that way. It be that way sometimes. Oh, that's what's up. Vita, what's going on? All right. And it's your daughter's birthday today. Good looking. Happy birthday to her. So, yeah. So, hardly any black people go to Colorado. It is what it is. I'm interested to know what their total population is. Okay. All right. How many students attend Colorado at Boulder? 33,246. So it's a big school. 33,246. So it ain't make when y'all running out here buying all of this Colorado gear and talking up this Coach Prime thing and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's nice when black people support each other, but it just seems awfully coincidental that when black people want to support black people at the highest level, it's always on the entertainment level. Sports and entertainment, it's always on that level. So we don't want to support our neighbors, our friends, our family members, our starving artists, our struggling performers. We don't want to support them until they get on the big stage. But when they get on the big stage, then we want to throw. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a sweatshirt. A Colorado sweatshirt. What, did you get a Jackson State one? Just asking. Because you want to get the Colorado one, and I'm sure that unless you were from Colorado in that area, I'm sure that school was not on your radar or on your list of college shirts to buy. You may have gotten a Nebraska one. You may have gotten a Notre Dame one. You may have gotten an Ohio State one, or a University of Michigan one, or maybe even a Michigan State one, or maybe even a Florida State one, or maybe a Florida University one, or a University of Miami one, or maybe Louisiana Tigers, or maybe Texas the Longhorn. Colorado probably wasn't that school that you were going to support, but I understand now your brother is going there, so you want to make sure that you represent. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. But give me a break. Give me a break. Good Lord. Monica says 1% is about 332 students, and that's right. But it said 1.72, so almost double that. You got like 500 students there. 500 black students. You know what that look? Damn, son. Damn, that's what we doing? When back in the day when I went to Penn State, Monica went to Penn State, we wasn't doing it like that. And we definitely weren't the majority anywhere near it at Penn State. But there were 40,000 students at Penn State at that time. It's much more now, but it was 40,000 at the main campus, and we comprised of at least like 5-6%. You know what I'm saying? We had a few thousand on deck. You know? Okay, but it is what it is. I wanted to talk about that topic because I don't know. I take issue when our brothers and sisters do for themselves and are all about themselves, but when they really need the support of the black community, then they want to come back to us, which I wouldn't have problems with because why shouldn't you be able to go back to your family when in times of trouble? The problem is don't come back to us like like you've been a brother to us. That's the only thing I have a problem with. If you only been servicing yourself, doing for yourself, worried about yourself, don't come to me talking about they stole my bike or they threatened me or they out to get us. Don't do that. Don't do that because it ain't like that. It ain't like that. Deion Sanders was popular to more than just black people. I would say that white people were probably more into him than we were. We knew him, but I don't know if y'all remember when he was running around here with MC Hammer. You know what I mean? He was hanging out with MC Hammer. Like anybody who would hang out with a rapper like MC Hammer back in the day, I'm like, now if he was hanging out with Public Enemy or somewhere, my conversation would have been a little different. But you hanging out with, all right, man, I ain't mad at Hammer. He was getting that money. But that's what they was doing. They was getting money. You know. And I don't have no problem with nobody making no money. But just don't act like you on that black shit. There are too many black people on that black shit that don't get any recognition, don't get heard, and it makes it hard for us to move the needle of any type of achievement or advancement or progress for us collectively. But you want to coach football at an all-white university, and now you want to act like it's us against them. When did it become us? When did it become us? It was us when you was at Jackson State. At Colorado, I don't think it can be us. It's you, and it's been you. Must be the money. Must be the money. I ain't mad at nobody for chasing a dollar. I ain't mad at nobody for setting their financial portfolio to the highest level. I ain't mad at that. But stop acting like you doing it for us. Because you're not. You can't do it for us on that platform. So I just wanted to talk about that for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to talk about that for a minute. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and then I'm gonna get on up out of here. And I know I'm here longer than I said I would be, and messing around and still be an hour. It wasn't in the plans. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick was this whole thing with Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey is the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And he is currently dating Taylor Swift. Now, Travis Kelsey is a white guy. Real white at that. And Taylor Swift is a white girl. Real white at that. And she's near, she grew up near Philadelphia. She grew up in the Delaware Valley. Not in Philly, but in the burbs, kind of. It wasn't in walking distance. But nonetheless, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey is a popular athlete. He's really, really good. Really, really good. He's elite. He is an elite tight end football player. His brother is the center for the Philadelphia Eagles, whose name I can't remember right now, but his last name is Kelsey. And this is the most popular. This is the most popular player, Jason Kelsey. His name's Jason Kelsey. So the internet is buzzing about this whole Jason Kelsey with Taylor Swift thing because Taylor Swift, I guess you could say she was cute. She's not, but I guess you could say it. You could say that she was. And she definitely doesn't have a body or anything like that. Now, we know that Taylor Swift is an extremely popular singer, multi-millionaire and all of that, and, hit records and all of that kind of stuff. But the big thing about her dating Travis Kelsey is Travis Kelsey used to go with this black girl. And see, this is the part I didn't know until I saw a picture of her. Yeah. He was dating this black chick. And she had that superstar type body. Now I only saw one picture of her, well, maybe two, maybe three, all in one picture. You know what I mean? They had different frames of them, and it was like, yeah, he went for the gusto. He was one of them bad bitches. Yeah. So people are saying, yo, you got with Taylor Swift and you left that other chick? That other chick is cuter. She got a better body. She definitely looked like she has a bigger upside. But here come niggas. Here come niggas. Yeah, but her bank account, Taylor Swift bank account, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I'm looking at this shit like, my brothers, my brothers, my brothers, my niggas. My niggas, my niggas, my brothers. My brothers, my brothers, my niggas. My niggas, my niggas, my brothers, my brothers, my brothers, my niggas, my nigga, my what the fuck? So a lot of black guys are showing their hands. I mean, you ain't, historically, you ain't gotta talk no black man into no white women. We ain't never had to do that, have we? It ain't hard to make a black man go ahead and make the switch. But when we're dealing with a white man who was dating a black woman, and now he goes back to white. So I'm like, damn, black women? Damn, black women, y'all can't keep a black man? Y'all losing black men to white women? And y'all losing white men to white women. That's what I was thinking when I saw it. I was like, damn. I was shocked that it was a black girl. Travis Kelsey's former girlfriend. Maya Benberry. What's her name? All right. So here's some pictures of her. That's him and her. That's him and her. That's him and her. That's him and her. So yeah, he ain't fucking around. He got himself, he got himself she aight. Now, me being me, I'm like, I don't know what she looked like without without all the makeup and all of the extra accoutrements. But evidently, whatever those accoutrements were, he went for the flat. He went for the flat. Yeah, I said he went for the. Hold on, hold on. Nah, y'all know what Taylor Swift look like, so we not. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I mean, I ain't doing that. Now I don't know what the dynamics of their relationship was. I don't know how close they were. I don't know what they was doing. But I just thought it was an interesting story because they got the internet on fire. Like Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift. And then you got all the black guys saying, yeah, I can understand it because he went where the money was. As if he ain't super rich. Yeah, Taylor Swift has a lot of money. She's worth hundreds of millions. He kind of is too. He ain't hurting for no money. It's not like he's a seven-figure nigga. He well in the eights. Like he's the top tight end in football. And he performs up to that level. So it ain't a money thing. But you know how it is. People who don't have money like to talk about money all the time. It's kind of a constant, it's consistent. People who don't have money like to talk about money. People who don't have money talk about money all the time, all the time. We talking about that money. We talking about the money, son. We talking about the money. Anyway, the reason I wanted to talk about that is because I'm really concerned about the self-esteem of black women. I am. I actually care. See, I have black women in my family. Like my mom was black. You know what? My great grandmother was black, and then my grandmother was black, and like my mom was black, and like my sisters, they all black. Even the half white one is black, and I mean, even though she don't represent black, but she black. She black when ain't no black people around. You know what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying. Black when it's convenient. Sound familiar? But anyway, yeah, I worry about the emotional health and the self-esteem of black women because black women are always put on blast for being loud, being unsupportive, being gold diggers, and all this old bullshit. Not being good mothers, misguiding, misleading the youth, being the real problem out here. I've heard black men say all of that shit about black women, and I'm not having it, not going for it. And I don't believe it. I know that is untrue. I have more than enough receipts and proof to show that y'all need to cut that bullshit out. But when I found out that this whole Taylor Swift thing and like nobody gave a shit about Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift being together until they showed that black woman so now she has to be the one left behind. Now I don't know how close he and her were together. I don't know how emotionally tied they were to each other. I don't know any of those things. But what I do know is that I want to say to all the black women out there, yo, hold your head. You might have lost a black man. You might have lost a white man in this case, in some extreme examples. But just know that you are capable of getting either one, and you are definitely capable and worthy of keeping the one that you want. So, don't let these cats get in your head and tell you who, determine your worth for yourself. Y'all are the most educated group in the world right now, well, at least in the United States, which is what matters. Y'all doing the damn thing. The independent ones, the submissive ones, the good ones, the bad ones, the ugly ones, the pretty ones, the worthy ones, all of y'all, all y'all have all a whole lot of strong points, and don't let anybody determine your worth. Hold your head, black woman. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm gonna get on up out of here. All right, so let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious September 26th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them, making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Well, let's do this. Number one out the box. Care Bear had a birthday yesterday. I said Care Bear had a birthday yesterday. I must say that she cannot be forgotten, pushed to the side just because we didn't have a show yesterday. So happy birthday to you, Care Bear. A Care Bear. Yeah. All right, so number two out the box today, Dwala Reese. Happy birthday to you. And also Malika A. Sutton. Happy birthday to you. And Tammy Allen. Happy birthday to you. And Michelle died, turning 58 years old today. And Mika McIntyre, no relation. But what up, cuz? Happy birthday to you, turning 38 years old today. And Nicole M. Bartlett. Happy birthday to you. And Aziz Manhattan McCallum. Happy birthday to you. And Rossi Chupani, happy birthday to you. And Patricia McIver, happy birthday to you. And Marie turning 54 years old today, happy birthday to you. And Janine Bynum turning 44 years old, happy birthday to you. And Nick Towns turning 29 years old today, happy birthday to you. And Tasha Dixon, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, Red Shades, happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there who shares this birthday on this glorious September 26th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, yo, man, listen. Whether we talking about Coach Prime or whether we talking about Travis Kelsey and his girlfriend up for Taylor Swift, whatever. You got to hold your head, black man and black woman. You got to hold your head. Keep things in perspective. I'm not mad at anybody for supporting Coach Prime. Not at all. Just don't act like it's a black thing, because it's not at all. I ain't mad at you for supporting Coach Prime. Not at all. But don't act like it's a black thing. Not at all. Because it's not, at least not yet. Not yet. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. Please hit that like button. Please share the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. So we gonna get on out of here. And I say peace. I see y'all tomorrow. I don't know if my setup will be set up tomorrow, but we'll keep doing it like this until we can't do it like this anymore. But these because I'm on this camera and it feels generic, you know, these topics will probably be more random than they normally are. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, these topics will probably be more random than they normally are. But thanks for coming through, y'all. Thanks for all y'all support and love and all of that. And I get with y'all tomorrow. I holla. Peace. All right.